Not a long time ago, a very extraordinary ice was invented. It was cold and cherry and very magical, because when you poured water on it, it fizzed and grew into a soft drink so thick and cold you had to eat it with a spoon. And like nothing the world has ever known before, when you ate it, wild and wonderful things ran up and down, in and out, and all over inside you. And that's why today, in honor of that very extraordinary experience, we call this soft drink you eat with a spoon, chills and thrills.
Hey everybody, it's Interview Friday, lunch therapy. So glad to see you. Boney is here, Bloss is here. We've got a guest. We're on the deck of the Titanic or something here. Actually, I think it's a ferry in Washington State, so don't worry. I hear Zeppelins are coming back too. Zeppelins and giant cruise ship airships. So don't you worry, everything's going to be just fine. Yeah, that frozen cherry drink did seem vaguely pornographic. That's probably why I played it, because today we are going to start out with a little bit of the sacral chakra, above the root chakra, which is all about sexuality and creativity. And I thought that was, a little frozen cherry soda drink from the 1970s would be a good way to start that off. Oh, the humanity. So that was the Great Wheel behind us. That's the Great Wheel in Seattle, Washington. That's how people from Washington say Washington. They say Washington. So, just start saying it, especially when you see them Seattle folks. They actually say Seattle too, not Seattle. They say Seattle. Just, so when you go up to Seattle, make sure you say Seattle, Washington, because then you'll fit right in. Otherwise, you'll get the Seattle freeze. Seattle freeze. You know what that is? That's where they don't talk to you from, because you're not from there. So if you say Seattle, you say Washington, they're going to be like, hey, they're one of us. That's for you, Just Jay comedian. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. I think it's because I got one of the shirts. People of South Tacoma say Washington. No, you all say it. Come on, we all say it. Washington. You will get the Seattle freeze regardless, believe me. So I'm wearing one of the shirts from the new store. Let me see if I can. Boney, yeah, thanks. Boney's panning the camera down. Things are getting very high tech here. Yeah, so this is the one that says, "Why hurry? Why hurry?" Has a picture of a sloth. You can buy those. Oh, we got a subscriber. Only 3 more to go, and we are at 2,000 subscribers. So please, all you Washingtonians and all you Kansasonians and all you wacky folks out there, please subscribe if you haven't. Get your friends to subscribe. Get your whole family. Joel is employing irony. He must be up to snuff again. Yes, I think Snuffleupagus is my friend. I don't know if you all know Snuffleupagus, but I found online Kamala Lopez, my wife, she had an episode of Sesame Street where I think she meets the Snuffleupagus. At least she had his slippers. We'll have to show a clip from that on here if we ever can. And not get banned. What, me hurry? Yeah, that's what the shirt says, which is super cool. I'm trying to be calmer. It's kind of loud, the music. Probably because I'm screaming. That's probably why I'm screaming. Washington, yes. Cappy Adiship is here. 2,000, 3 more to go. I mean, come on. How many? That's 3 subscribers. Nothing. Seattle Sherry Freeze is very popular in Japan. Interesting. Kamala did 2 seasons of Sesame Street. So, of course, she was hanging out with the Snuffleupagus. We'll have to ask her if she rode the Snuffleupagus. That's what I'd like to know. I don't think that coat has ever seen an iron. I am definitely slobbing it up today for sure. I don't know why. I should be dressed up because I got a very special guest today, Katherine Yoon. She always looks sophisticated, always looks put together, always saying hilarious stuff. She is now one of my idols. Shirts are on my site. There is a link in the show notes, or you go to the YouTube channel, or you could go to you just click on one of those shirts, boom, takes you. We've got even bottles now, water bottles and cups. Yeah, we're moving. Can I subscribe twice? Please do. I don't think it helps. I think it actually unsubscribes you. I gotta get on with the show, folks. I just want to show Chuck's Ferris wheel. I don't know what it is with the hummingbirds these days, but they're sending me Ferris wheels. This is a Ferris wheel in, I don't know, Long Beach, maybe? Kamala is on her way to act today. She got herself an acting gig. I can't tell you what it is. Maybe she'll tell us what it is, but she's going to go out there and, yeah, let's hear some applause, because that's not easy. It's not easy to get an acting gig. And she, Sesame Street all the way to here. Yes, congratulations. Let's hear applause again. Let's do it again, because that's fun. Thanks, Boney. Thanks for all you do, Jay. Jay had a fantastic roving reporter last time on the show, and I mean, that drive-in in Colorado, I think it is Colorado, actually, not Colorado. It's Nevada, but it's Colorado. Got to keep it all straight. It's an awesome show on Netflix called I Think You Should Leave. That's what she's doing. She's doing that show, I Think You Should Leave. Hilarious show, comedian show, kind of show that maybe I would like to have someday, besides this one, of course, where they do sketch comedy and all kinds of crazy stuff. Kamala's on it. Kicking ass. Catch up with the first 2 seasons before she stars up. All right. Enough of the advertising for the Marshall Lopez household. Let's get into this thing we call lunch therapy. All right. Blas Lorenzo is here, and he's in his tracksuit. He's getting some exercise. It's so good to see it, because I think we need it after all this time. I just lost my COVID weight, and you know how I lost it?
How did you lose your COVID?
By getting COVID. That's what happens at the end of it. You gain all this weight because you're quarantined and everything, and then you get COVID, and then you get deathly ill and become like Boney. Yeah, exactly.
That's how you lose your COVID weight.
That's how you lose it.
Now, you lose.
I don't recommend it to anybody. Do not recommend it to anybody. That's not a recommendation from me. There are other ways to lose it. And Voss is exemplifying that right now with his tracksuit and his headband. I don't know why people don't wear headbands anymore, except for you. Is that because you're a... Oh, it's not a headband. Damn.
I'm trying to sweat it all out.
All right. I thought it was a headband, man. I was like going back to my... what was that John Travolta movie? And
Staying Alive?
Staying Alive, yeah.
Saturday Night Fever Part 2, where he wore the
Staying Alive. Yeah. Or the one with Jamie Lee Curtis. Remember the one with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Jamie Lee Curtis. Part 2.
Yeah, and he really moved his torso. Like he really his whole thing was
you know how he got
flopping.
In shape?
Yeah.
You know how he got in shape for that movie?
How?
Sylvester Stallone got him in shape.
No way. Get physical.
If you watch Saturday Night Fever,
let's get physical. Physical. Yeah.
And when Staying Alive came out, he was the tanned Don.
Ripped. Let's get physical. I wanna get physical.
Oh my God!
Get down to physical. Let me hear your body talk. Your body talk? Wait a minute. Your body talk? You mean through like dancing?
Yeah, your body's got to talk. It's got to get in the show. It's got to communicate.
I see what you mean. Body language.
Yeah, and
Bloss isn't exercising. Todd says Bloss isn't exercising. He's getting ready for a breakdancing performance at your local mall. I'd like to see that.
Come on out. I'm about to rip it up.
Yeah. W performing drugs. I don't know. I don't know what it means.
With performing drugs.
With performance drugs. Performance
so
enhancing.
I'm taking the PEDs,
Rip
huh?
Olivia Newton-John. Yeah, we think you are. You're taking
Come
the.
on, man. Come
You're
on,
getting
man.
a little
No
bit
drugs.
of enhancement,
No
I
drugs,
think.
No, wait a minute. Are
What?
shrooms considered drugs?
That's a good question. That's something we're trying to explore on the show, but I'm too afraid anyway.
If it's considered, then yeah.
Yanel wants to know if we're breathing or what.
Right now. You ready?
Let's do this thing.
What we do
right
is we
now.
breathe through the nose, out through the toe.
Okay.
Take a big deep breath. Hold it.
Hold it. This is you too, Catherine. You gotta breathe. I can see you. She's in the green room with Boney.
Okay,
Let it go.
Let it out.
Boney's always trying to talk people out of breathing because he can't breathe. He doesn't have
No
lungs.
lungs. He's a bum.
Got no lungs. No, let's do it.
Okay. In through the nose.
Just Jay has a comedian story for us.
Hold it.
Let it go. Oh, sorry. She's got a we have this segment on the show that we haven't done in a long time, which is called the Crazy Story segment. And I hope that Just Jay is going to tape that or do it live or whatever. You know, it's weird how we still say tape that.
Well, I think you're the only one that says tape that.
No, people say it all over the place. I've been listening to people. So I've actually brought it back out again.
So meaning record or video.
Record or digitize or whatever.
Tape that. They're saying tape that. Hey, don't forget to tape that.
Uh-oh,
Hey,
look out. Look out.
Oh.
Sacral chakra time. Remember the sacral chakra? We're revisiting it. We are revisiting the sacral chakra. You know, it's interesting because Katherine is probably going to be able to enlighten us on some of this stuff today because I know she's a very spiritual person. Just Jay says, video it.
She's focused. She's charming.
I'm actually kind of nervous to meet Katherine.
You should be nervous.
Sometimes when people are like at that level, you know,
you're not ready
I get nervous. I get nervous. I'm like, how can I possibly have a conversation with this person when I am so
here and there?
Basic.
Here?
Basic. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that?
Basic.
Like you're here and they're here.
I like to say, well, I don't like to like put people, rank people. I just like to say, I just like to tell myself that I'm not good enough as much as possible.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's.
Or maybe it's that. Yeah.
But that's the norm for you.
That's just the norm for me.
I can understand that, though. I mean, after
It's
all,
healthy.
it is you. And,
It's a healthy, I don't know.
It's a good way to be. It's a good
Pathology,
way to be.
as they say.
Standards that, the expectations aren't too high. So,
Yeah, keep the expectations low and the performance high.
That's the fail.
All right, so I just want to tell you what the special book, I'm reading from the special book that Howard Aronin recommended, Chakra Healing.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you basically about this sacral chakra. The sacral plexus chakra is what they call it in the book. The sacral plexus chakra is all about connecting with your emotions, creative expression, sexuality, and abundance in healthy ways.
Those are four of the great things to share.
Yep. And there's a little bit more I'm going to tell you about, like how to exercise your sacral chakra other than the obvious way.
Right. There's other ways to.
The obvious way, of course, is that machine where you wrap that thing around you and it's like connected to a motor and it shakes the middle part of your body. You know that?
Like a ninja blend.
Yeah.
Juicer.
I like to tell myself that I'm not good enough and then prove myself wrong. That's what I like to
You
do.
know what? You're consistent. That's a good thing. Consistent.
See? I'm wrong.
You're in
Then
the
I can be
pocket,
wrong
pocket.
too. Then I don't have to be right all the time. I have to be wrong.
I mean, you're right there. You're right.
I'm right in the zone. I'm in the pocket, as they say. Okay, now let me tell you other tips on how to, besides going to Healing Vibrations, listening to their crystal bowls like we're doing now, kind of like under-promising and over-delivering. Yes, that's right, Todd Lee. That's right. This
That
is some
should be every business
unlicensed
model.
therapy. Yep.
Every business model.
Under-promise, over-deliver. All right, here we go. These are the ways to excite your sacral chakra. Dance. Let's get physical. Especially belly dancing, Latin dances such as salsa, and other dances that move the hip area. Yeah.
Yeah, moving the hip area, shaking that chakra, that sacral chakra.
You know, I don't think American men move their hip area enough.
You got to have hips to move them. That's the problem.
That's
American
right.
men don't have hips.
They have no hips.
So narrow and flat.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just
It's the rhythm.
overgeneralize
It's a
all
rhythm.
men in America.
You
Hula
gotta
hooping.
get the rhythm.
Oh my God, Todd got the next one. He got it already. Hula hooping. That's the
Hula
other
hooping.
thing.
I
mean,
can't do that to save my life.
That's a lost
Cannot
art,
do
right?
I just can't do it, bro. I try and try.
You can't?
I don't know if it's because I ain't got no ass.
I don't know.
Maybe I
Maybe
have
it's because
a
you're
belly, but I
American.
can't get that ring.
Because you're an American.
I
Okay.
can dance my ass off, but I can't get a hula hoop. You know what I'm saying?
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Learn Tantra to get in touch with your sexuality on a more conscious level. Tantra. I'm gonna ask Katherine Yoon if she knows about Tantra.
Oh, you know she. I mean, if it's Catholic.
Very hard to move your hips when you have no arse. But
Yeah, that's what I.
yeah, it makes sense. Try journaling, writing, painting, and another form of creative expression to help channel your emotions. Interesting.
Being creative and artistic to channel emotion.
Learn Tantra. What does that even mean? Let's see. Okay. Include play in your daily life to cultivate flexibility in learning how to experience pleasure and joy. These are getting kind of complicated now.
Hey, I play with myself every day. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Are you now, though? Don't do it on the show, because that'd be weird.
No.
I think we could get me too.
I'm playing with you, but I'm not playing.
That would be
with
really weird if you're doing that now, because, you know, like that guy on the Zoom call.
Oh, the guy got busted?
Yeah. What was going on there?
Yeah, I don't know, but all I know is that that's not good.
Okay, we got one more. Chant the mantra sound corresponding to this chakra. VAM. V-A-M. VAM. All capital letters.
The mantra sound?
I guess. VAM? VOM?
Bam!
Washington? I don't know.
Bam!
VAM. 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 Yeah. It's feeling pretty good. Feeling. Let's see. Kamala says, I remember that Stacy and Jonathan used to have tantric sex for many hours, like 12. And the trick is not to orgasm.
But Jonathan, you know Jonathan. He's that guy.
He's like a superhuman. I mean, that's for sure.
Like he does things that normal people don't do. So to be having tantric sex for hours at a time, the only one benefiting really is Stacy.
We got to get Jonathan on the show, Jonathan Penner. Hey, let me tell you something really quickly. We're gonna have Katherine Yoon on very soon here. She's wrestling now with Boney. They're like wrestling. I don't know what's going on.
Let's go.
It's weird.
Let's get Katherine on. We got to get
Just
Katherine on.
hold on. We're gonna have her on, but I just wanted to say this one thing. It's just there's a teaser. December 23rd. Remember how last episode we were talking about non-duality and how confusing that was?
Yes.
Well, Angela DeLulo, which sounds a little like duality, DeLulo, is a duality expert, has a whole YouTube channel, a very popular one, more than 2,000 subscribers, many, many more. He's going to be on our show explaining non-duality. Yes! Another subscription. We're only two away.
No, three away.
No, two.
I think it's 3.
Okay, 3. Somebody unsubscribed? Did someone unsubscribe while we were talking about non-duality?
No, but I think it's terrible. Why would you do that in the middle of us trying to get over to? Why would?
They're still talking about tantric sex. That sounds like a very exhausting process. Like I like
about
30
tantric
minutes.
sex. You You got to talk about it for a long time. That's why.
He likes the minute and 30 seconds.
Long process. It's a long process. You got to talk about it for a long time.
Kamala says, I'm not sure anyone benefits from 12 hours straight of sex.
No.
I'm not sure either.
There's the beneficiary and there's the producer.
I mean, unless they're filming it, that's your job, you know? Except the YouTube algorithm. That sounds like a good job, right?
Sounds like a boring milkshake.
Oh, my God. 2 minutes on a good day. All right. Sure,
30
Todd.
seconds.
Sure, Todd. We know he's like a giant among men.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Catherine's coming on.
I think it's time. I think it's time. It's time to bring Katherine on because otherwise she'll probably like run off with Boney. They'll probably be out there like, you know, Boney got a motorcycle, by the way. Did you know that?
I'm tired of that. Stop it.
I said, dude, that I like to call those murder cycles. But he got one. He's tooling all around Los Angeles. It's like, you know, it's one of those, what do they call it? Where it's a chopper is what it is.
12 seconds. 12 seconds to Katherine.
12 seconds to Katherine. I hope she's ready because, I mean,
she ready?
She's got a lot of explaining to do.
7
She's got
seconds.
a lot of explaining to do. I better intro this.
5,
oh,
4,
I think it's too late. It's too late. I'll just
2.
Okay. All right.
Intro.
Hold on. I'm going to intro. I'm getting nervous now. Let me go back to the Titanic here. Okay, I'm going to intro Katherine Yoon. I met her very briefly at the Fourth Wall, and I was like, that woman has talent. That woman is interesting. I don't know what's going on there. I can't figure it out. She's super funny, super poised, very dry humor. I'm going to play a little bit at the beginning of this thing. And I don't know. She's one of those people where it's like a deep well. And I know there's some stuff going on there. I'm afraid to perform unlicensed therapy on her because I don't know what's going to happen, you know, once you uncork that keg. But we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens here. So let's get this thing going. This thing we like to call Interview Friday. Joel Marshall Lunch Therapy. 2, maybe 3 away from 2,000 subscribers. It's going to happen today. It's going to happen.
Call a friend.
Call a friend. Call a friend. This is dramatic, man. Like we're in space. Love this part.
Parents were TV reporters, and they fought a lot. But every time they fight, they would end the fight with, "Back to you, bitch." Also, they threw bottles at each other.
Okay, wait. We got to go back because during the clapping, what happens is somebody in the audience drops a bottle. And so we got to hear that part. Let's go back to the beginning. It's because it's fun.
Parents were TV reporters, and they fought a lot. But every time they fight, they would end the fight with, "Back to you, bitch." Also, they threw bottles at each other. They know what's going on in my house. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, Katherine. Oh, so glad to have you on the show. I can't even tell you. I love that clip that we just showed. I loved how the bottle fell and you incorporated it into your act. Thank you for being here on Lunch Therapy.
I'm
Good. I'm glad. We're very excited to have you here. I don't know. I mean, I tried to research you. It became very complicated, very complex. As usual, you are a multi-hyphenate, multi-talented person. Not even, you're a comedian, but you're also an artist. And you're also, what else are you? Everything possible. No, you're an artist. Oh, I know what you are. You're a writer. You are a yoga instructor. You are all these different things all in one package. And I start to think maybe we're all multi-hyphenates now. performers. We're all various things. It used to be like the kind of thing where you could only be one thing, and if you didn't stay in your lane, people got pissed. People got upset with you. Where did you start? Can you start with the beginning of your life, and just so we can find out like where you come from, what happened, what your parents were like, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I just making sure. I born in South Korea, and then I moved. I lived there for 15 years, and then I moved to, and then now I became Canadian citizen. I lived there for 10 years, and then I came here. I've been living here for 4 years. So,
Wow.
and yeah, so I'm a Korean Canadian, and I've been living in the U.S. for 5 years. So.
Wow. So you lived in Korea for 50 years? Is that what you said? Are you 100? How old are you? You said 15.
I said 1.5. He's talking about the black and white piece on the wall. That's my boyfriend's artwork.
Oh, nice.
I would love to take credit for it, but yeah, he's as fucked up as me. So
Really? Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes, yeah.
Are you okay, so did you always want to be a comedian?
Yeah, well, I when I came to the U.S., I'm architect by day, so I was working as a set designer, and I was just so unhappy. I was very suicidal, so
Really?
I think it was my outlet is to have humor in life. Otherwise, I would have just cut my wrist or something. So
You're
yeah.
very talented at architecture. I mean, I'm just amazed when I look at the stuff on your website. I'm just going to bring that up here just for some background here into what kind of a talent you are. So this is the architecture part of your site, I believe. And are these your drawings?
Yeah, I love to draw, but there's so many more people who are professional, like people who make Star Wars. They do great artwork, and I could never catch up, But art is,
I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't think
Maybe you're using the philosophy that I use, where you tell yourself you're not good enough. And
Right,
then do shit
right.
like this, and then you prove yourself wrong.
I guess I am talented. And then
Yes,
people
you
respect
are
how much it is.
very talented.
Yeah.
And not to
Yeah.
take anything away from the comedy, but I mean, this is quite a foundation that you have here of being an artist. I was amazed. I must say, I was just amazed when I saw this work. Okay, but you were depressed. Why do you think you were depressed?
Well, I now use, I think, the pain as my like a comedy material. Pain is the main ingredient in my comedy. Every story and line has to have it, but it was just unbearable everyday life.
Yeah.
You can't take a break from it, and it has probably have to do with being an Asian and trying to meet the expectation of everyone else. Yeah.
So do you think because you're Asian that you had a higher level of expectation from the people around you?
Yeah, and also you build it to yourself. Like
Yeah.
you expect things from yourself, and I mean, like I did yoga, like I would cry. You know what I mean? I don't know why I was crying,
I have to do
but
that.
it
I
was
got to
a
play that
problem.
clip. I'm going to play that clip.
Yeah.
I often cry in yoga. Yeah, well, it's a problem because I'm the teacher.
I love that. So okay, you're doing architecture, you're depressed. You're maybe not living up to your expectations, or maybe you feel overwhelmed, or maybe they work you too hard. But then when do you start teaching yoga?
I was in Toronto. I came from Toronto,
Yeah.
Canada, and yeah, I started teaching yoga there for like 3 years, but
Mhm.
I'm not a good teacher because it's hard when you do things on your own. You're in control, but when you're
Yeah.
teaching, it's you have to trust. You have to have a trust in myself and others, and that's tougher, I find.
I want to show you doing yoga that I found on Instagram. It's pretty amazing. Okay, here we go. Look at that. That's you, right? Oh my God. I'm thinking maybe you have a hard time teaching people because you are so damn good at it that you can't understand. Like if you were teaching me to do yoga and you do that and I'm like, yeah, I can't even touch my toes. You'd be like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, Marshall?
Yeah, I'll be very harsh on you, Marshall. I'll
Would you be like that? Would you be harsh? Because people are harsh on
be very
you?
like
Would you be like, no,
dominatrix.
stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Unless that's what you want, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We had that person on the show. We had a dominatrix on the show. That was interesting. Yeah. I didn't even know she was a dominatrix. It was a mystery guest. And our viewers had to guess what she did for a living as I asked her questions. There's some whip sounds. And I think you're making that with your mouth, Bloss. I think that's what you're doing. It doesn't sound like a real. By the way, this is just another advertisement, another teaser for the future. We're going to have a guy on the show named Jacques the Whipper. And he's not a dominatrix. He's a guy that does shows with whips. Have you ever seen that guy?
No. Unless
really
it's my boyfriend. He often uses whip. Okay.
Hey, this picture behind me is from one of your works. And this is a mixture of architecture, I think, and other forms of creativity, right? This is a show that you've come up with. Can you tell us about this, or is this something that is secret?
Well, it was. I don't know if you guys know Art Center.
Yes, of course. Love it. Love the Art
Design.
Center.
Yeah. They located in Pasadena. They have this program called Entertainment Design, and a lot of people graduate from there work for Star Wars. I keep saying Star Wars, Star Trek.
You're fixated. Yeah. But you work for Star Trek, though, right? You work for Star Trek, or you have?
I did work for Star Trek.
Wow.
So yeah, this was a portfolio to get into that school. Like imagine, like
really
people. Yeah, it's very competitive. Yeah.
I love this. I went through and just read the story of this. And I think it's super interesting, especially because of what we talk about on our show, is that this is, this explains it, but basically you are talking about future technology and also like the idea of people injecting things into our body where it affects our brain and they can control us, right? And which is a very timely topic, I guess, because we all, all the people freaked out about vaccines and all that stuff. I'm not one of them, but the story is really interesting. And then also you combine that with the idea of meditation and using meditation to combat this. Is that right? And it's it's a futuristic story, but it's also tied in with spirituality and meditation. I think it's fascinating. Are you pitching this anywhere?
No, I actually, I work for Star Trek and the product design. The person who was in charge of the Star Trek artwork.
Yeah.
I should show him. I haven't showed him this yet, but I don't know. I think it's just for fun for me for now, but I would love to one day make an animation. That's my, I guess, dream to have your own animation produced. Yeah.
And this is for like a graphic novel, or is it for like a show?
Yeah, for now it's a graphic novel, but hopefully, maybe I can turn it into an animation.
Okay, so now I want to talk about your comedy for a second. Because obviously you are a very sophisticated person, very but on stage you are often crude in your language, which I appreciate, but you have such a likable persona and such a put together kind of persona that it comes off hilarious. And it's not, it's not threatening, or it's just funny. Do you feel like you have multiple personalities in your life? Is that a different personality than the one I'm talking to right now? The one that's on stage?
um, yeah, I guess you have to kind of heighten the someone that's half you, half not you. Like I don't. It's a performance, so I don't think you're fully that person off stage. But on stage, I gotta be the full kind of savages dominatrix.
I like
Yeah,
that. Savage.
yeah.
Savage. A savage performer. Todd says, have you looked into the gaming industry? They're always on the search for
I
artists.
learned next. I don't know if you guys know Blizzard. Blizzard, video game company.
Blizzard, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I got sucked into the World of Warcraft thing for years and I had to wean myself away.
Yeah, I mean that's also like what Koreans are known for. StarCraft championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I think the video game is so competitive and they just really harvest your organs
Yeah.
for granted because everyone want to be part of it. So
Oh, we have some breaking news, I think. Some breaking news all of a sudden. Let's see. Blas is here. Let's see if I can get him on the screen. Blas, what's going on? You seem to have some fireworks. Are you sure? Are you sure? No way. Oh my God, right here. I knew getting Katherine on the show was going to put us over the top. I knew this would happen. I'm so happy to hear it. Let's get to some fireworks here. Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm so happy. Let's see. People are going crazy. 2,000 subscribers. Oh my God, this is so amazing. Congratulations. Couldn't have done it without you. I don't know where Katherine went. There's so loud, the fireworks. It's just, oh my God, this is just, what is going on here? Oh, there's some black square here. It's so loud. I can't even hear Blas. Oh my God.
I'm telling you, bro. With Katherine,
that was exciting.
Katherine coming onto the show, I felt something special was going to happen. I could feel it, bro.
I did too. So congratulations, everybody. 2,000 subscribers. I'm still not sure I believe it, but it's been a long path. All right. So okay. Sorry. Now I totally interrupted you with that, but you were talking about Blizzard and about gaming, and Todd had mentioned, hey, are you gonna, get involved in that?
Are you a gamer, Katherine?
I don't game, but I have a lot of books, like The Last of Us. Like I have like the video game artist book, the Assassin's Creed. And it's just the artwork's amazing, the storyline's amazing. I don't play them.
Is your boyfriend a gamer?
I guess he was when he was 17.
When he was 17.
I don't know. I think video game is so symbolic. And you have a quest, and you have to complete the quest, and that's a kind of like a hero's journey. And we make fun of it, but it is a great way to kind of grow.
No, it's a huge industry.
It's bigger than movies. Bigger than movies.
Yeah, bigger than movies. Bigger than film. Bigger than.
We had a guy on the show, Jeff Pierce, who's starring in the show of Last of Us, and he was also in the game. He was the voice of. I think he was the voice of the guy named Joel, but then in the show, he's like his brother or something like that. But it's the gaming industry, and also writing for the gaming industry seems to be like a huge profession right now, right?
I didn't even know there's people who write for video games. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't even know how they write it. I don't even know what a script looks like for a video game. You know what I mean? Does it look like a mind map? Because it's almost, it's like those graphic novels they used to have where they'd go, okay, if you decide to go down this path, go to page 27. You know what I mean? Like that's what we used to do before there were video games.
Interactive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's interactive, so that changes all the time. Yeah.
Right. I think there's like also Netflix. They are making it interactive. So I don't know if you've seen it. Like you can choose the path of the person. Have you guys done that?
I've seen the one Black Mirror that was like that. The one Black Mirror. It was I forget what it's called. It had a weird name.
Choose the door. Choose the.
I love that. I thought that was so much fun. Yeah. So would you say that you're primarily a comedian now, or would you say you're primarily? Yes, you do. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So what is your idea? And first of all, does it make you happier to be a comedian? Is it good for your joy?
No, 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 absolutely not. I have to be always suicidal to be able to write a very compelling jokes, because the emotion of just always wanting to die brings out the best in me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting. Always wanting to die
It's
brings
like
out the best in
a
me.
defensive mechanism. Like a
Oh,
defensive mechanism.
wow. That's interesting. I do find that in stand-up comedy, there's a lot of depressed people, and in comedians in general. So, like even like when I was in college, I had a physical comedy class, and the guy who was teaching it was such an asshole. He was so mean and so unhappy, but he was a hilarious comedian. But I think that there's another way. You know what I mean? Like, I like to think there's a way to be healthy and be a comedian, almost like you tap into that anxiety and that unhappiness, because a lot of times that's what connects us to others. And we also want to laugh about it, because if it's hurting us, we want to laugh about it because it takes some of the pain away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you mind that and then keep your happiness, if that's important? Happiness.
I think that's a great question. I think comedy for me is about perspectives. Like, and I love the surprises in lives. Like when you see one thing, you're so focused on one thing that you can't really see it from different perspective. But comedy gives you that different perspective, which brings a surprise. Like I have a joke about cutting myself, and
Yeah.
then yeah, I say like I used to cut myself, in front of Red Cross blood donation bus. Come and get it.
Yes.
Self-serving for a good cause.
When
So,
you
like,
when
yeah.
you say that on the stage, you say, "They told me not to say this joke." And then you say it. Did someone tell you not to say the joke?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because it was like, not like, oh, you can't joke about cutting,
Mm.
right? But you can, because that's one of the things that we joke about, is the things that we are universally, the painful experiences we are having a lot of times, right?
Mm.
Do you think watching comedy is therapeutic?
If a comic's a good comic, yes.
Yeah.
But it does. You're absolutely right. It is therapeutic. It is
Yeah.
for me.
And how do you come up with jokes? Because you write jokes. You are really funny at writing jokes. Do you do this on a daily basis? Do you keep a pad and paper with you? How do you keep track of all this, the humor as it comes in?
There's open mic where you can go up on the stage for 5 minutes. I'm sure Joel know this, but I don't know if people
Yeah.
who are listening to, I'm sure they all know. But so before open mic, I would sit down for 5 or 4 hours and
Hmm.
then just write. Like I would write lists of topics and things that I like and I don't like, and then I come up with ideas. Yeah. So
Oh, interesting. So that's one of the ways in, is you ask yourself a question like, what do I like? What do I don't like? And you write them down. And then you're like, then do you expand on that?
right. So I'm more of like a subconscious writer. I would like words. I would write words first
I see.
and then combine the words, and it comes to me somehow. They connect.
Hmm.
Dot dot. Yeah.
I like that because, well, one of the things about, and I don't want to break it down too much, but the thing about the being a yoga teacher, I cry too much. The audience assumes that you don't say you're a yoga teacher, you say yoga, and we assume that you're taking a yoga class or doing yoga and that you're not the teacher, and then the reveal is that you're the teacher. So you bring somebody one way and then you turn it around, and that's humor. Would you say that that's one of the main tools that you use, or would you say it's like a different approach that you have to it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a twist.
A twist.
Because
Yeah.
when you're like when you feel suicidal, you feel suicide. There's no other perspective you can have. But comedy brings you surprise, which will turn your perspective away from suicide,
Yeah.
which saves lives. I find so. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you tell stories on stage too with jokes?
Um, I say mine is like, my stories are truth
Yeah.
based on lies. So half is my life, half is a complete lie.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
The
I love it. I love it.
I
It's
like that too.
authentic,
Yeah.
yet it's not.
Well, I think I mean, a lot of times you can't just be bound by the truth all the time, but you want to try and get as personal as possible, but you can't be bound by the truth because a lot of comedy is absurd. Totally absurd. And I don't think
One of
you
my
can
favorite
hold
quotes.
back from that. You know what I mean? You have to go for it. Go
Yeah,
for it.
Joe. One of my favorite quotes is like
Yeah.
the comedian quote, right, or comedian uh, philosophy. It's like, just because the story's true
Just because the story's true doesn't make it what?
doesn't
Funny?
make it funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you're telling the story and
Hmm.
it's true,
Hmm.
it doesn't make it a joke. It doesn't make it funny. It's not, not every story that's true is good for stand up. Put it that way.
Hmm. I think
Like you
that
just said,
makes sense.
you want some truth, but you don't have to be so true that it's not funny.
Okay,
We're trying to have fun
I'm gonna lighten
when we
this
do
up a
stand
little
up.
bit with some Catherine humor here. Just a sec.
Did that take a turn?
How I
No,
get
did
hand
that
job.
really?
I think I will be a great balloon animal maker.
That's funny. Okay. So what I'm going
That's
to
a
ask
great
you,
joke.
maybe this is crazy, but I'm going to ask you what your path is now because we like to catch people a lot of times on the rise on this show. So we can like all help each other like figure this stuff out because sometimes there's not a path. Like when you get employed by a company and you're like, I'm going to be the manager next, and then I'm going to be the supervisor, and then I'm going to be this person, and then I'm going to be president of the company. But with comedy, there's a lot of ways to go, and there's so many different ways to express yourself comedically now. What do you see a path for yourself clearly? Do you make plans about where you want to go?
That's a good question. I think it's a marathon. You have to see it as, but I'm gonna make it next year.
I like it. I like it.
I'm definitely gonna get on my Netflix special next year.
Cool.
No, it's unknown. You just have to embrace the unknown, and I guess I'm going on a like 30 states tour. I mean, like
Wow.
I call myself a tour, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a month of break from work, and then I'm gonna hit about 30 different states, like clubs. So just
Do you
have
have
a
like
goal. Yeah.
did you schedule these things or do you have it? How did you plan this?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to go to every state in the US to
Hmm.
perform, and it's next January. I mean, April is. I've been doing comedy for yeah. I don't want to say the years, but
Yeah.
some years, so
Yeah.
that I want to hit the road. I want to see what hecklers look like.
Oh, good.
I want to see who hates Asian people.
Oh
I'm
my God.
excited to be on the stage to be heckled, and yeah.
Do you plan for, first of all, have you ever been heckled?
The thing is, I don't get heckled, but there are people who hates me and
Yeah.
message me that they hate me. They don't
Really?
talk to me on the face, but they do message me.
Like trolls?
Yeah,
Internet trolls? Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God. So on stage, though, I mean, I think that sometimes I think Los Angeles is very supportive of performers because I think the audiences just understand what it is to be a performer because a lot of them are, or they at least know somebody who is, or know somebody on the stage. So when you go out into another town, you're in a place where there's maybe not a lot of performers, and maybe your comedy even is maybe geared towards performers. So it's a great way to stretch. Do you have a plan? If you do get heckled, do you know what you're going to do? Or do you have like one-liners do you keep a folder of one-liners for such a case? Or are you just going to go on the fly?
I guess you have to have something prepared. I'm
Yeah.
not going to share it here because you got to
No,
come
of
and see
course. No,
me.
don't tell us what it is. I'm just asking. Save it.
Yeah.
Save your ammunition. We had a guy on the show who actually had a person in the audience pull a gun on him. Yeah, I know. But I mean, that doesn't happen very often, I don't think. Not to
Just
worry
makes the
you.
comedian famous, more famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many heckle videos that makes comedian famous. So you have to welcome it, you know?
Well, I don't know about the guns. I think they got to get those people. I think what happened is security got them out. But
That
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
if they kill you, then yeah.
I guess if everybody, I guess there's Bloss up there on the tree. I guess
But
if
how did he get it with a gun and not his phone? You know,
this
some
guy
shows
was
you gotta turn your phone
Keith Ross Nelson is the comedian who is on here, and he was in some town and they pulled a gun on him. But anyway, it ended up okay. But he's also somebody that's been, doing this for a long time in a lot of different cities, and he even does those cruise lines. But I think that's great, Katherine. I think that's really wonderful. I would love it if, for this show, if sometimes while you're on the road, when are you leaving? Do you know?
So April 1st till April 30th.
Okay. So maybe sometimes when you're on the road, you could do like a little roving reporter for the show. Do you think you would do that? Because we do that on the show a lot.
I would love
and I would
to.
love that. Or even you can go to like a site, something that you see and be like, oh, look at this thing. I don't know what this is. Because it's really fun. And comedians are great. And you can even interview other comedians or whatever you want to do. So I invite you to do that. We would love that here at Lunch Therapy.
however you want to journal that tour and what
Yeah.
you're going on, however you want to journal and share with us. Come on, bring it up.
Yeah,
Love that.
we would love that.
Nice. Because you're so funny, and I know you're gonna.
I know you're
shoot
just going
1
to
minute,
kill out there.
man. It's gonna-
She's going to be great.
I
out
want to
there.
see you interview. You should interview a heckler.
Yeah, it might be a good way to
I
bridge
had
the
a
gap.
joke about like Americans, you have a problem with guns, when your favorite store is called Target, like
That's great.
Charity wrote that.
That's great.
He's a joke writer, bro. I'm telling you. Man.
I love it. Do you think what's the longest amount of time you've done comedy? Like an hour and a half, 15 minutes, 6 minutes?
Easy, buddy.
longest
mean
is
easy,
25 minutes so far. So yeah.
25 minutes?
An hour.
Yeah.
An hour is an hour special. It takes time to put that together.
Because I'm not a like shoot the shit
Let me
kind
say
of person.
6
My
minutes?
jokes are all structured. I don't
Yeah.
like go up there and ramble. I have structured joke that has punchlines every minutes. So
Yeah, I know.
She's a joke writer. Yeah, she's the
I
setup,
like
boom,
that.
setup, go.
That's what I like. That's what I like about her so much. She's just got joke after joke after joke.
One of my favorite comedians and a good friend of mine is D.L. Hughley. And D.L.
D.L. Hughley.
Hughley's like that. He
He's
tells
great.
jokes. He writes jokes and he tells jokes. He reads the paper every day and he's relevant. He always has something to say. He became kind of a political pundit through his comedy. He's always current and he tells jokes immediately. He tells jokes.
I think it's also a good idea when you get to the town, and not that I'm an expert on this, I've done this once. I went to Portland and did comedy at the Portland Harvey's, and I tell you, it was a life learning experience. But I had to write jokes about Portland because the owners of the club didn't like my serial killer jokes, and they were like, you need to write some jokes about Portland. So I had to walk around one day and just think of jokes about Portland, and I had not spent any time in Portland. So I had to do a whole set that night just about Portland. In fact, the whole weekend. So one of the things about going on the road is so it's a good idea to get into the town early and just kind of get an idea of what it's about. Get some spots that maybe everybody knows. And maybe think of a few jokes about those.
Some local humor.
Some local humor, because it connects you with the audience really fast.
Yeah.
I guess that's how you should open. Definitely.
Yeah. And just, it doesn't even have to be, it can be an outsider's experience. Like, oh my God, I came here in the world's biggest bookstore. What? Does anybody read books anymore? Whatever, maybe you do that here. Yeah.
It is good though. When you're on the road, it's good to, you gotta make a connection with the locals.
And also always have somebody who's like a veteran road comic that you can call afterwards if something goes wrong and just be like, this happened to me today. And they can be like, oh yeah, that'll happen to you a million times. That's hilarious. You know what I mean? Just gives you some perspective on it.
Where were you? Yeah, that city will do it to you.
Oh yeah, I was in that club. It's always good to have people.
What is this number, guys? By the way, in the corner, I see and then this number just went 61.
I know. All of a sudden, there's 61 people viewing the show. I don't know. We got some kind of a storm, a people storm.
We went from like 9
I know.
They know that
You know
I'm a
why?
porn
You
star.
know why?
You know what I mean?
I think
Why?
it's
Because of Catherine Yoon.
it's because Katherine Yoon. The word got out. The word got out that we were
2000.
getting the scoop on
See, one
Katherine
more.
Yoon. And
see
also
me
we had
on Pornhub. Yeah, they want to know more about it.
they
yeah.
want to know more. They want to know more. That's
They're gonna come see you. They're gonna come see you when you go.
maybe it's because we reached 300 or 2,000 subscribers. All of a sudden now we got some street cred.
Oh my god.
Hold
Yeah,
up.
right.
Two people left. Hold up.
All right. Now it's down to 2. All right. So anyway, let's dance now. Let's show these people how to dance. These 57 people that are eyeballing us right now. All right. You ready for the dance break? Thank you so much, Katherine, for being on the show. It was
Katherine was
really,
great.
really great to have you. And you're
Katherine,
welcome
yay.
anytime. And if you have any
Amazing. Thank you so much.
if you have any funny stories, roving reporters, whatever you want to do, this is your home, or consider it your home to do whatever you want. And, entertain the 61 eyeballs out there right now. All right, dance time. Here we go. Dance break.
Lunch there.
This is going to be kind of mellow. It's going to be a little mellow, but it's one of my favorite songs. I love this song from when I was like a kid. You know this song?
Such a great day.
This is like yeah. This is Wardell Wilson. He's letting us play this on the show. He's a performer. He's got a channel, a YouTube channel. You know this song? I like that dance.
Who's playing this? Is this like your cousin or?
This is Wardell Wilson. He's a performer on YouTube. He's an up-and-coming musician. He might even be already coming. I'm gonna do hand dancing.
He's just waiting for something to show, and nobody knows him, and nobody cares, 'cause there's no hiding place. There's no hiding place.
I'm gonna do one of those yoga moves like Katherine does.
No one sees everything and nothing at all. Oh, when he shouts, nobody listens. Where he leads, no one will go. Oh, he's a lonely man there on the corner. What he's waiting for, I don't know. But he waits every day now. He's just waiting for something to show. Oh, nobody.
He's gonna start like really getting into it soon here.
Nobody cares.
You can go to Wardell Wilson's page, YouTube channel, and subscribe. It's a subscribe festival here.
Tell me you care, but just pretend like he's not even there.
You didn't
Against the
expect
wind,
that, did
sometimes
you?
life isn't fair. 'Cause it depends on financial affairs. The things that we take for granted, I don't understand it. They done left him stranded on the corner, standing. Got a corner office, the flow is granted. You ignore the damage, nothing pouring famished like that. You know these mean streets got a mean streak. You can't have a clean slate without clean sheets. Knee deep in the dirt, turf full of TPs. We need some empathy as a species. Just like the lonely man there on the corner. What he's waiting for, I don't know. Oh, but he waits every day now. He's just waiting for that something to show.
We got some congratulations.
He's a lonely man there on the corner. What he's waiting for, I don't know. But he waits every day now. He's just waiting for something to show.
All right. Okay. This has been Lunch Therapy number 408. Thank you, Katherine Yoon. Thank you, Blas. Thank you, everybody, for being